This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Got to talk about this dude that posted on Reddit about his girlfriend. Apparently, she's been applying for jobs for months. No luck.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are battling that right now. I see a lot of people on Facebook just saying, I've got another Zoom interview, which has got to be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, of course, I mean, you know, people are trying to get employed when a lot of folks got unemployed during this whole COVID nonsense. So, I mean, this is not unusual. Though in this particular case with his girlfriend, it is unusual because there was a reason why she wasn't getting any nibbles, any bites. Nobody was really wanting to hire her. Turned out that the last time her resume got saved, her computer auto-changed the name at the top to her username, which happens to be Princess Banana Hammock.
What?
Which
I knew Vicky would find that funny.
Yeah, Vicky knows why.
Aw, it's a Phoebe reference. Princess Consuela Banana Hammock.
Yes, that's exactly
Friends?
it. Yeah.
Friends.
Okay.
Definitely from Friends. And if you...
Was that her? That's her username?
That's her...
That's
look,
funny.
Look, listen, what, Dong Lover 69? Is that what it is?
Yeah, but that was when I was immature. I was in my 30s when I had that.
Yeah, of course.
Cut me some slack. I've grown up. I have a kid now.
Yeah. So, is it just 69 nice?
It's just Dong Lover 420.
Oh, right. Yeah. You've grown.
That's right.
I don't know if I should say you've grown. Your name is that. If you don't know the Friends reference, here's the episode, and this is the scene where Phoebe tells her new husband that she's actually changed her name to Princess Consuela Banana Hammock.
Well, I'm no longer Phoebe Buffet.
That's great. You changed your name?
Yes, I did. Princess Consuela Banana Hammock.
All right, then I'm going to change my name.
Right. Okay, what are you going to change it to?
Crap Bag.
Mike Crap Bag?
No, Mike. No, just Crap Bag. First name Crap, last name Bag.
That's Paul Rudd.
It is Paul Rudd,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was wondering, because the voice sounded very familiar.
Yeah, right?
Oh, look at Paul Rudd showing up on Friends.
Yeah, he ended up marrying Phoebe, and they were really cute together.
Wow. Is that the first time we really all saw Paul Rudd, I wonder? I don't think because that's Friends is...
Clueless. But I don't know if that was before or after that.
No, I think Clueless was first. Because Paul Rudd didn't show up until like the last seasons.
Then Clueless was the first time you saw him.
Yep.
Oh, wow. And I totally forgot that he was in Clueless.
Every time I think about Paul Rudd, I think about that time I was fortunate enough to go to Los Angeles to do interviews with everyone that was a star of Anchorman before Anchorman was released. They did like a big screening, got to interview Will Ferrell, Christina Applegate, Champ Kind, David Koechner.
How cool is that? The first Anchorman movie. Nobody knew at the time it was going to be what it was going to be.
It was so great, dude. It was such an incredible experience, but I will never forget walking in, because you go into different hotel rooms. That's how they set up these interviews. So each room is a different celebrity, and you get to do like a 10-minute interview, and it's awesome. Will Ferrell was super nice. One of the nicest people I ever met. He made it a point to make sure I was happy and accommodated to, offered me water, which was kind of funny because that's typically what the handlers would do, not not the celebrity.
Yeah.
But when I went in to interview Paul Rudd, I just walk in and instantly all I thought was, ladies love Paul Rudd. He had two of the hottest women just sitting on a couch while he's doing the interviews. I don't know who they were, if they were like PR people or if like what his relationship status was at the time. But they were just like, they're staring at him with loving eyes. And I'm like, Paul Rudd is the best.
Yeah,
I'll never forget that.
That's a pretty good. That's a maneuver right there.
And I don't know if it was just like his thing. Like I was like a weird like flex that he wanted to put out there. Like I'm the ladies' man, and he just had two hot chicks like just there to watch him be interviewed. But it was awesome.
Could have been his way of going, I want this interview to go well. Let me make sure. The majority of people coming to these interviews must be, dudes. So let me throw a couple of women in here so you'll think I'm a great guy.
Yeah, it brings up his status.
Well,
Will Ferrell didn't have that. He just had water.
Yeah.
Was it sexy water?
It was room temperature water.
And of all the people you interview, you remember two people. You remember Will Ferrell for being a nice person, and Paul Rudd for having,
No, I remember three, BJ. And I remember Christina Applegate not being very nice.
Oh.
Really? Super nice when the microphones are on. Not so friendly when they're off.
Oh.
Not like a mean person, but just not friendly. Because, you walk into each room and everyone in that cast were like so nice. Adam McKay, the director as well. They were like above and beyond friendly. So then you go into hers and you're feeling that mojo and you walk in, you're like, hey, it's nice to see you. Hey. And you're like, oh, okay, this is going to be one of those interviews.
Yeah. Boy, you wonder, everybody gets to have a bad day.
Yeah.
But still.
I still hate her for it, though.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Kidding.
Well, I had the same experience when we had the Star Trek movie people in, and one of the guys was our buddy, because we had made friends with him, and still it didn't matter. He was our buddy. The woman that came in with him was not friends with us. She just did not seem to like us.
What was her name? I can't even remember.
I can't remember her name either.
She was not into.
She was
Alice Eve.
Yeah, Alice Eve.
Oh, yeah, that was when I showed her the picture I drew of her of bacon, and she did not like that.
That's why she didn't like us. Rev drew her as bacon. She might be vegan for all we know.
So was that so you think that was the reason why she didn't like us?
100%. It's the Rev's fault.
All right, I'm going to go
take
with
the
that.
blame on that one, the way she looked at me after I was showing that to her.
Yeah,
everyone else was super cool about it.
A lot of people, they mostly had a good reaction to Rev drawing people as bacon. We'd have people come in studio and Rev would go, "Oh, I'm going to do bacon drawings of them."
Felicia Day loved it.
Yeah. I guess you got to know your audience. Probably Alice Eve is like, this is weird. And you're right. And Felicia Day and a lot of folks who are geeky probably thought this is unusual. And I love unusual, but apparently not Alice Eve.
What the hell has she done ever since?
That's a good point. I haven't really seen her in
she's had
much.
An incredible career, and I just don't know.
I don't know. I think it ruined everything when she just decided to turn on us. And she doesn't know the big influence we have. I mean, look, look at your life. You get to talk to Will Ferrell. Everybody's nice to you. And what's Christina Applegate ever done since?
A lot, actually.
All right, well, fine.
She was in the incredible second season of Iron Fist, which was the worst of the Marvel Netflix shows.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I never even saw that second season. I didn't know Christina was in that.
No, we're talking about Alice Eve now.
Oh, Alice Eve was in Iron Fist? Well, yeah, then I'm definitely not watching the second season.
No. Not worth it.
Someone said they first saw Paul Rudd in Overnight Delivery with Reese Witherspoon back in the late 90s. Sarah Silverman's in it as well, but they were probably all just a bunch of unknowns at the time.
I saw Sarah Silverman in an episode of Star Trek Voyager recently because I've been binge watching that, and Sarah was in that. Yeah, she played a scientist. And well, I say because I didn't even know she was. I didn't know who she was when I first watched that episode in the 90s. I wasn't aware of Sarah, so to see her name show up, I'm like, Sarah Silverman's in this episode. I didn't even know she was doing stuff.
Just before, I don't know the
90s.
Okay, because I was trying to figure out the timeline of Star Trek. So that was before her comedy career was really big, huh?
I'm not sure. It's interesting. When it got big enough for us to know her, I think she was probably very famous to at least Hollywood because she was able to get this role. She probably was doing some great stand-up in Hollywood, but you and I probably didn't know about her until after that episode.
Yeah, I only knew about her in the year 2000. There was a movie called The Way of the Gun, and in the opening scene, she gets punched in the face, and it's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, this was, I feel like this.
That doesn't sound good.
Oh, dude, I'm not doing it justice, but basically she's just talking S while her boyfriend's supposed to back her up. And so her boyfriend's supposed to get into a fight with this guy, and the guy just punches Sarah instead.
All right, then. I think she had a little bit of a better role in Star Trek Voyager. She was a scientist, and so she really helped out everybody. It is cool to see people like before you knew them.
Well, now we know what the Rev finds funny.
Yeah.
Women being punched in the face.
Well, there you go.
Sarah. Oh God, great. Thanks.
No, out of context, it sounds very weird.
Yeah,
though.
sure does.
I'm sure watching the show, I understand what you're talking about.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Your kids will be saying,
"Please 5 more minutes. I can't believe I did that."
and
"Look how high I can bounce."
Spring Free is the world's safest trampoline, the place where stories are made. The innovative design boasts no springs, so you know you're safe. Go ahead and create the greatest stories you'll tell your friends. We're back in stock. Get it while you can. To learn more about the world's safest trampoline, visit springfreetrampoline.com.
Mom, come watch us.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Well, there's a 50-year-old guy who lives in the great state of St. Louis. Yes, and he got into an argument early on Saturday when he caught his nephew trying to steal his Netflix password while he was asleep. Yeah, while he was sleeping, man. Because the uncle was not sharing the password, but the nephew was like, "Sorry, kid, you ain't getting this." So the nephew was not happy about this and wound up grabbing a kitchen knife and slicing his uncle's nose. That's okay. You know, maybe the uncle had a point that this nephew kid, you shouldn't really do much for him.
Next season on Chopped.
So the kid took off. We don't know if the cops have tracked him down yet. Uncle was hospitalized. I hope he's going to be okay, but wow, that is, I mean, I want to watch Netflix, but I don't know if I'm going to go nose slicing if I can't.
Man, I don't know if you guys have ever had that awkward conversation with somebody who wanted your password, wanted to share services with you, like one of those streaming services. But I had that recently happen.
Oh, really?
A bud from college who was like, "Hey, man," we were talking about something about Netflix, and he's like, "Oh, I don't have Netflix." I'm like, "Oh, you're missing out on these shows, blah blah blah." And he's like, "Hey, how about you share your login info then with me?" And I was like, my response, "No, absolutely not." And he was butthurt about that. Like, "How come you won't share it with me? We were buds, blah, blah, blah." I'm just like, "Yeah, man, I don't really feel like, I don't know what the hell you're going to, I always worry that someone's going to screw up my account. And all of a sudden.
Yes.
And also, I like knowing that I can turn on a show and it picks up to where I left off. But what if they're watching it as well? Now I got to figure out what episode I ended on.
Yeah.
It's too much. I know you could, change it for different users, but it's just too much of a headache.
Yeah, you're already getting, I know what you're saying, Steve. You're getting to that point in life. When people tell you that you can do something, you go, "Well, I haven't gone that deep within the service to know all this stuff, so I'm not going that deep."
And you know what? I don't need to if I don't share the password. And usually, I can just stick with how I have it, and I'm living a bliss life.
I will tell you, I used to be the same way.
In which way?
I was never going to share my stuff with anybody. And then a boy named Rev came along.
Aww.
And then he shared, and he was willing to share his stuff with me. It was like, hey, because I forget there was a show that he and Vicky or whatever were watching, and it was on Hulu. And I was like, "Oh, I used to have Hulu, but we canceled it because there was just not enough shows on there for us to watch." And then Rev's like, "Go ahead and have my password." And I'm like, okay. And then I thought, oh boy, I had to get myself ready because I knew the day would come that then he would say, hey, you have this and I don't. So, and I was like, oh no, I didn't want to take it at the beginning from Rev because I knew then I'd have to give him mine maybe someday.
Yeah, take
Right. That's the thing. Now all of a sudden you owe him a password.
And I had to do it. Yeah, I had to pay up. And then I had to change all my passwords. Like I had to come up with a new password that I knew wouldn't be anything like my old passwords. That's the other thing is like, you give it somebody a password, but what if it's like one of your major passwords that you use on your stuff? It's like,
And it's awkward because your password was Rev as a Dingleberry 420, exclamation point. And then you had to change it.
The 420 was so strange with BJ.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and it wasn't that difficult to change, so I just went to 421, and that made everything
Nice.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it really was.
But he's still a Dingleberry then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got well. That, when you get a good password, Steve, you got to hold on to it.
Are there certain people are you just willing to share with whoever? Or does it have to have a certain criteria?
Oh yeah, I don't like to see. For me, I don't like to do it. I just feel like, it's not right in my own brain. But actually, I've come to peace with that. But yeah, you've got to be like a really, really good friend who I trust, and not even a really, really good friend. I got to just trust you're not an idiot,
right?
You know what I mean? I have friends that I think are really good friends, but I think they're idiots. So there's no
that's
way
why you're not sharing passwords with me. I got
exactly.
it.
I'm just like, dude. Back in the days when I used to go up to Canada and do those seminars, that was one question that was always asked. Who would you trust your money with to take care of your family? Like you go, here's all my money, take care of my family because I'm not able to do it. Whoever that person is, that's the only person I give my passwords to. And that's different than most of the friends that I have.
All right, you only pick one person on the show that you're going to trust your money with. Who is it going to be?
Oh, whoa. You know what? I feel like it would be Vicky.
Vicky.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I know Vicky, you can't give her, how Vicky doesn't even take anything?
Yeah.
So I don't think she would steal anything. She doesn't even take presents when she deserves them. She's still like, I don't want this. It's like, but you really deserve it. You're like really good at your job. I didn't earn this.
You know what's funny about that? You have two children that work on the show, and you didn't even pick one of them.
I was going to say, sorry, Joan Sarah, there goes that inheritance.
Think about it.
There wasn't even like a thought.
Yeah, sorry.
I'd clearly go with your daughter. I'd give I let her handle all of my
Listen,
money.
Honestly, she wouldn't be a bad choice because she doesn't spend any
That's
money.
a good point.
Now,
she doesn't like spending.
And she's honest to a fault.
Yes.
Now, your son, on the other hand, not so much. I don't know. He might go to Vegas.
And take his best friend Danny with him.
Danny definitely not. He'd get drunk and buy cherries for squirrels to feed them.
That's also true.
Now, Steve, I want to be
raccoons,
fair.
But yeah.
I want to be fair because it's a good punchline, but I mean, I was not including my kids. I thought it was somebody outside your family. I will tell you this. This is going to be surprising, but I'm going to give him credit because, I mean, Joey D's, even though he does like to go to Vegas but Joey D's is actually he's very honorable. I would trust him in a heartbeat. I think he would take care of everybody because he's got a big heart, and I don't think he would serve himself before serving other people. So yeah, I trust both my kids. My kids, I think, Sarah's taking care of me now. I mean, she's just like, you can't, but I mean, like people outside my family, look, I love you guys, but yeah, I got to go with Vicky. It's all right. I mean, Steve, I don't know if you'd be number 2 either. I'm sorry.
No, I would spend your money in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Right?
man.
Yeah.
I'd be using your Kickstarter account. I'm doing it all, man.
Yeah. And I don't think Rev would want the job because I know Rev recently has had to become an adult in certain situations and take care of things. And I think he'd be like, yeah, don't even give me your money. I don't want the job.
Yeah, being an adult is BS, man.
Yeah.
Very true. You know what's the funny part? Like, though I would have no problem sharing my information with any of you guys. Like, I don't really have anything, which is crazy to think, but that's kind of a testament to you losers. That
it's true. You've told us your greatest password, DongLover69. You're right. You've shared that very quickly.
I share with everyone, even the Rockaholics. I trust all of you. DongLover69. Money sign.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. dollar bills, y'all.
So it's like Dong Lovers, but
yes, of course.
That way,
yeah.
You need that kind of money sign thing.
I don't know if you guys heard this. There's a teacher that set the alphabet song to Korn's Coming Undone.
Nice.
And how about Jonathan Davis got wind of this and responded to the video? The teacher's name is Nick Harrison, and, you got to love this.
And it's time to say our alphabet.
Oh, boy.
A, B, C, D, F,
This guy's great. This guy is the king.
Oh, man, how do I get him to do that for all the children's toys that Tatum has? Because every talking children's toy we have, at some point, will bust into the alphabet song.
Oh, yeah. His version's great. By the way, if you see this guy, Rev, I don't know if you saw this guy. Wouldn't he make a great wizard? He's got an amazing wizard's beard.
Hell yeah. I've actually seen him on TikToks before. Usually he'll be like singing in his car, but it's all metal all the time. Like, this dude is so badass.
Yeah. Love this dude.
Yeah.
How cool is that? You know, I don't know why, but I never thought any of my teachers were cool. You know what I mean? So that's why it's like something's changed in life. I never thought any of my teachers would be this cool.
But the weird thing is, I'm sure some of his students don't think he's cool. Like, oh, Grandpa using that old song by Korn. Who listens to Korn? You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
We're all like, that's cool and current, but Korn's like an old person's band, probably to the eye of like a 12-year-old.
I don't know. When I was in high school, my freshman year, I walked into my English teacher's classroom, and he had a big Kiss poster. He was the biggest Kiss fan in the entire world. And he would like get dressed up, and we thought it was cool. Even though like Kiss was like ancient by the time I was in high school, it was like, this guy knows how to rock.
Yeah. I see. That's I don't remember any of my teachers. I had one science teacher that I thought was cool, but he was just after my sister. So I don't think he was that cool.
Whoa.
Yeah. He was a young dude, and my sister was already out of high school. This was my 9-year older sister.
He's hot for sister.
So he was, I was like, wow, this guy's wanting to drive me. You know, he's like, I'll drive you home. But then I realized, he's chatting up my sister. Oh, I see what's going on, because she had come to the school one time to pick me up, and I'm like, I was a dumb kid. I didn't know about romance, but then a couple of my friends go, dude, your science teacher, I think, is really trying to get at your sister. I'm like, no, I don't. Oh, and I thought, but it's me. I thought I was special. No, you're not special. No, he's.
I have a question about that teacher though. Like, what age students is he teaching? I mean, it's got to be like kindergarten, right?
Kindergarten, yeah, it's totally kindergarten.
That seems very scary to have a guy singing.
I guess, yeah, it is kind of aggressive for kindergarten.
Hey!
Dude, that would be wild.
Tiny metalheads headbanging. That's cool.
Right?
Yeah. Or what if you have a little kid going off to kindergarten and she's, I learned my ABCs today, and you're expecting the normal alphabet song, and she just metals out on you. I wonder how many parents are getting that rude awakening.
Because at first I'm watching him, it might have been cool to have him as a teacher in high school, but I'm like, why would he be teaching us the alphabet if we were in high school?
Well, Steve, on a special episode.
Right?
Honestly, at that point, I wouldn't be surprised if he was teaching high school kids. We're just going to refresh for here.
Well, listen, this remote learning has really stunted a lot of people's learning. So you might have to go back to the basics when they get back in there.
He also does radio as well. He's a sideline reporter.
Wow, this guy does everything. Wow. Man, this guy's kind of amazing, I have to say. He might be my new hero.
Yeah.
Rev's he's on TikTok. He's a sideline reporter. He's doing a cool alphabet. Jonathan Davis is giving him some props. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you right now, man, guy's got a cooler life than me and a better beard, that's for sure.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I know if bankruptcy is going to provide me with relief? What are the steps for my situation?
There's so much information out there about bankruptcy with the internet and what people have heard from friends and other people that they've talked to about their financial issues or bankruptcy. There's also a lot of bad information out there or urban legends about bankruptcy. In order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you need to talk to an attorney that's experienced in bankruptcy. So in order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you should talk to an experienced bankruptcy attorney. And my job is not to convince you to file bankruptcy. My job is to help you to make that decision and have all the facts so that you can make an informed decision about whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, what benefits it's going to have for you, and what the downside of filing bankruptcy is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
The world needed a safer trampoline. Dr. Keith Alexander, inventor of the Spring-Free Trampoline, wanted to bring the joy of trampolining to his daughter. His wife said they were too dangerous, so he invented his own. Spring-Free Trampoline is the world's safest trampoline, with no springs or hard edges. Now, parents can have peace of mind that their kids are outside jumping safely. To learn more, visit springfreetrampoline.com.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.